November 11th, 2023. We have a trailer strapped on. We are headed, I will say, to the Detroit area, about 3 hours from home, chasing a lead that we got about, how long ago was that?
A month or so, probably.
Yeah, 3 weeks, a month ago. A friend of ours, but you have known him longer and better, shot you a text with...
I just got a Facebook message request that just said, have a minute to talk. And I was like...
And it was, so you talked, and it was pictures of a Mustang, an old one. Horrible pictures.
Not good.
But what got interesting quick was we saw a transmission shifter that had a wooden handle and a Shelby logo. So naturally the blood pressure went up, and quickly figured out after seeing a few more pictures that it wasn't a Shelby, but it was still a 67 or a 68 Mustang Fastback that looked to have some Shelby parts. We didn't know much of the story. Every tool known to man to possibly, what was the word that you used? Extract.
Yeah.
A car that's been sitting for decades. And the reason we know it's decades is because there's trees in front of this building. It's not a barn, I don't think. I think it's more of a two-stall detached garage. But there's trees that are probably 10 inches around in the front of it, and those don't grow up over, you know, a month. So hopefully there'll be plates on it where we can see when it was last registered. It's trashed. We know that about the car, right?
Yeah, she's tired.
We've seen pictures. Part of the roof is missing off of this building, so there's a bunch of rust on it. But we were able to get a VIN number. I pulled a Marty report, and the Marty report came back very, I'd just say positive. 68 Mustang S code, so a 390 big block, automatic, C6 automatic, air conditioning, tachometer, console, black interior, seafoam green exterior, which is not a common color. And one of the pictures that we saw showed that it was under the hood. What was that about?
I just dropped my phone.
The engine compartment looks to be extremely complete. There's still smog on it. Everything, the carburetor, it all looks to be original. And that's, I think, what has me the most excited. It's certainly not a trash body, but anything can be fixed. We don't know what they're asking for it. Don't even know that they know what they're asking for it. So we're just kind of prepared to handle whatever. But we're heading east, and we'll meet them at 10 o'clock this morning. All right, well, we're up front of this barn. Don't let the Shelby hood fool you. It's a GT. 390 car though. Albeit really, really rough. Everything is there. It's even still got the smog on it. It's all there. But it's trashed. But it's cool. Seafoam green is its original color. Found the trunk lid. Found the original fenders. They're pretty rough. Got a Sears battery. Have no signs of when this thing was last on the road. The Trans Am has a, looks like an 81 license plate on it. Can get this door to open. Shelby scoop. Anybody hungry? Gotta be stuff to eat in there. They say there's not barn finds anymore. Technically, this is a detached garage find, and it smells like it. But a lot of it's here. Pretty cool. Regardless of what happens, it's freaking cool. Whole center blocks are coming apart. This whole garage is probably not even safe to be in. Don't tell my wife. Gotta like that Shelby hood though. Don't know if it's Shelby-like or an original Shelby. Somebody much smarter than me can figure that out. It was 14 hours from when we left home until we got back. We were tired. It was a lot of work. It took 3 hours to get over to Clinton Township, Michigan, which is near Detroit. Took 5 hours to basically get back where we could really look at the car, assess it as well as you could in those circumstances, try to figure out a fair price, do the deal, if you will, get people paid and get the right paperwork done, and then untold hours extracting it. There's really no other way to put it. It was an extraction. When we removed the door to the garage, it really, that was holding up the whole front header system and all that, and it just started collapsing. But we got everything out safely. It was hard. Of course, all the wheels were locked up. Upper control arm on the passenger side on the front broke just from all the rust. And so, but we worked it through. We got a good winch and we got it out. Well, it's the morning after our 1968 Mustang Fastback GT 390 hunt that we did yesterday. You can see pretty cool story behind it though. The original owner is one of the Tuskegee Airmen, which is really neat. He passed in I think it was 1974, at which time the car went to his son, and we have that title. It is dated 1974, so that makes it a one family ownership car, which is really cool. What's not really cool is the second owner just neglected it and parked it in this structure. So it's been a long day. Primarily focused on trying to get all the crap out of the inside of this car and clean it up a little bit. Untold hours working on it. Went to one of those little hand wand car washes to use their vacuum, and it just literally handfuls of stuff out with a complete safety mask and breather on, and actually gave it a bath on the outside, and then came back home and vacuumed it out with my shop vac, filled it 3 times, and there's still a long way to go, but made huge progress today. Here's what it looks like. The hood cleaned up pretty nice, but it's, old. I sprayed off under the hood, put something over the carb. It's still wet under there, but that's all pretty cool. It'll be good when it dries up and see what it really looks like. I don't know, just love the Sears Allstate battery. Don't know why. But the biggest thing's the interior, right? So lubed up a little bow shield, lubed up those hinges, and that works much better now. And working onto the inside, there's the mask I was wearing right there. Found some original shifter knob, some other little doodads, but hey, look, actually looks like a real car. Plenty of rust, as we knew. Floor's got some serious issues in a lot of places. Still got some more stuff to get out of here and cleaned up, but all in all, for a day's worth of work, it is a whole heck of a lot better than what it was. I was able to get over and take a gander at the odometer, and it's clocked 53,000 miles. Still can't get that door open. Sprayed a bunch of stuff in there to lube it up and it'll unlock, but the button's dead and doesn't seem to work. So we'll have to play with that some, but there's your interior. And in here, it doesn't look any better. Plenty of rust. But at least all the stuff's out of it. It's supposed to be nice here for the next several days, so we're just going to leave it outside and let it air out. Can't imagine it's smelling any worse than it does. I can smell the old gas, and we had some leakage on the drive, so it's going to have to pull that out at some point and get rid of that. But boy, after pressure washing it, it really didn't help. It still looks like it looks. But there's plenty of good salvageable parts on this thing for sure. So it's now November 15th, Wednesday, just 4 days after we pulled this car out of the barn, garage, detached garage, whatever you want to call it. Got home late and started cleaning it up on Sunday and really getting a good look at it. Spent most of the day just getting all the parts that were loose out of the car and all the crud out of the interior. You know, a lot of leaves, a lot of critter skulls, 6 different critter skulls we pull out of there, but got it all cleaned up and really got a good look at it. And the body is shot for the most part. There's certainly some usable pieces, but for the most part, it's shot, and it's well outside of my abilities and, quite frankly, desires when it comes to building a car. I always kind of pride myself that I can look at a car anywhere and know real quick if I could do something with it. Doesn't mean I can make it awesome or restore it or whatever, but I'll just see a car and I'll go, yeah, I could do something with that. And this one, I knew pretty quick that it's way outside of my abilities and way outside of my skills. And really, in my opinion, it's a project that somebody would be upside down in financially. By the time you did all the body work necessary and then restored it, you'd have a lot more money in it than what it's worth. And I've done that before, and I told myself I wouldn't do that again. Professionally, people like to say, stay in your lane, and that was ringing in my head a lot during this. Stay in your lane, stay with what you know. And one thing that I do know from one of my other Mustangs is there's a lot of value in original parts. And this car is just loaded with original parts that have 50, I think the odometer says 54,000 miles on it. So then I thought, well, I could just part it out, and that'd take a lot of my time and a lot of room in my shop here at the house. So I contacted some people down south in the U.S. who do that for a living, and sent them, you know, we bounced back and forth with some texts, and then I sent them about 50 photos yesterday, and we struck a deal on the car. So the car is now sold. It's already paid for. My money's in the account. So what I'm doing now is just prepping it to get shipped. I'll never take it off the trailer. They'll winch it right off this trailer onto the hauler's trailer. And I'm really happy about it. I knew it wasn't the thing for me. I wish it was, man. When we pulled it out, I just kept thinking this is a really, really special, cool car. It's got a pretty neat story with the Tuskegee Airmen aspect of it and it being a one-family ownership. But and of course the options, a highly optioned big block car, air conditioning car. But unfortunately, like I said, just too big a project for me in my pocketbook, and I don't like losing money on the cars. So I love that either somebody will restore it or all these parts will be able to go to other people that are restoring cars, and instead of this thing rotting to the ground, which it was well on its way to do, it will get saved, be it a complete restoration or just in parts. So I did take some time to like I said, clean it up really good, but then I also went through and put the original hood back on it. It's rough, of course, but it is the correct hood. I threw one of the fenders on just to make it easier for shipping. The interior is about as cleaned up as it's going to get. I didn't wipe anything down. I just vacuumed everything out, but you can see it's all very complete. The panels that are not there, I do have. They just weren't on. I replaced that Shelby scoop that was on this side with the original vent. In the back, put the trunk lid back on. Put just temporary bolts to hold the head or the tail lights in, just because that'll make them easier for shipping. They won't get damaged that way. And put the fender extensions on, and cleaned up a few parts. But today we'll just be packing it all back up and getting it ready to ship. There's the instrument cluster showing 54,300 and something miles. It's got the clock, got the tach, pretty cool setup. So that's really it. I mean, I'm kind of sad to see it go, but it's the right decision. But it's always hard to let go of a car that's cool and has a lot of potential, but certainly the right decision for us. And again, it'll get used by somebody else, and we're excited about that. So yeah, it's all loaded up. It's got a good partner too. It might actually be in worse shape than this one, but very cool. All right, November 27th. There it goes. Heading to Georgia. My man Paul was extremely efficient loading that thing up. Certainly not his first rodeo. He's going right though. I think that might be a problem for him, but he'll figure that out. For me, it was a 14-hour adventure. I got to do it with my son. We've done these kind of things many times. We don't always come home with a car, but it's well worth it. Hell, I get to spend a day with my boy and on a shared passion. We call it Octane therapy, and it works for us. So I know people think we're crazy. All my friends do, but there's nowhere we would have rather been